Hey guys, GV. I'm surprising myself by even making this video. I did not think I would like this build. It is not how I intended to make it, but it actually has turned out to be fantastic to the point where it is putting out as much damage, at least in PvE, as my Alpha Bridge build. I haven't tested it much in PvP, and like always, I'll bring you some PvP gameplay at a later time. But let's dive right into the build. It is a 3-piece Striker, 3-piece Predator Mark build, and it's huge damage numbers. So let's hop right into it. My chest, I have a Striker chest, stamina, rolled health armor, ammo capacity. It's pretty high armor roll on it too. Yeah, just great there. Just stacking as much toughness as you can. My mask, I got a Striker mask. I got health and enemy armor damage. Enemy armor damage is a must on any build, especially a build like this where you're trying to get raw damage numbers out of a build that people wouldn't maybe expect it from. My knee pads are firearms, 1257 firearms. It's kind of a low armor roll, but I need to get the enemy armor damage on there, so there's a little bit of room for improvement here. But I got that 11.5% enemy armor damage, so we're sitting pretty there. Predator's Mark backpack, I actually rolled the perfect firearms roll on it. When I made this build, I wanted this to be a much more tanky build. I wanted to shoot for like around 600,000 toughness and still have about 3,800 firearms like a couple of my other builds. So you can still unlock perks on your guns like Deadly, Destructive, Unforgiving, things like that. But I kept rolling high firearms rolls and everything. So I just kind of went with it. And it has been very, very surprising because I still have 430,000 toughness with only 6,166 stamina. The Predator's Mark gloves I have, I rolled the firearms, assault rifle damage, crit chance, crit damage. And my holster is a Striker holster with a pretty solid roll. It's high armor, but there's just okay firearms, stamina, electronics across the board there. So there's a little bit of room for improvement there as well. And again, just as a reminder for everybody, why this build works so well together is the 2-piece Strikers, you get 20% stability. The 3 pieces, you get plus 10% enemy armor damage. You can stack a lot of enemy armor damage on this build. And the 2-piece Predator is reload speed. So my DPS, sheet DPS, is a little bit inflated because of that reload speed. But the 3 pieces where this is related, it's the 8% assault rifle and 8% SMG damage. So I'm actually running an LVOAC and an MP5 on it. And I'll show you the guns now. The LVOAC I have has brutal, responsive, and destructive. 20.9k base damage with 59, almost 6,000 firearms. But 23% enemy armor damage is the max. The MP5 I'm running has responsive, vicious, deadly. This thing actually hits surprisingly hard as well. I have everything expect for crit chance and crit damage. On the LVOAC, I'm actually trying to roll deadly onto that top slot instead of brutal. It hurt my sheet DPS a little bit, but my actual damage output would be significantly more. But I only have one roll left, so I don't know if I'm going to get it on this particular weapon. To look at my stats here, the crit chance on the rifle is only 19%. On the SMG, it's like 28. Crit damage, again, that's why I want deadly there instead of brutal. But 111% headshot damage. You don't need the accuracy. The stability comes from the Predator Mark build, or from the Striker, excuse me. I get that little bit of reload speed bonus. See, and then I have assault rifle on my gloves and assault rifle damage there, so it really gives me a huge buff. This is the real kicker, though. It runs 66.5% enemy armor damage, and you could actually get a couple more percent on there. I think you can get almost up to 70. My mask has low armor damage. I'm missing 0.5% on my knee pads as well. Skill power is almost non-existent. My max health, 197,000 health. I have 54.16 armor. Like I said, my knee pads are pretty low on armor. This build isn't 100% perfectly optimized yet, but it has been very, very successful for me as well. Bleed resistance, burn resistance, avoid all the flame turrets, shock resistance, avoid those stupid flame turrets and shock turrets. So that's the build. I mean, it's nothing particularly flashy. It has just been a monster as far as damage output. It hits as hard as my Alpha Bridge when I'm running Lexington or any other PvE activity. Like I said, I haven't put much time into it in PvP. I'm running the same talents as I normally do. I'm running Combat Save, Critical Medic on the move. I'm running Precision on this one to get that pulse, to get just that little bit extra crit chance and crit damage that you get from your base pulse. Let me see what the percentage on it. 7.5 or 7.7 on each damage and chance. So, you get a little bit more crit chance and crit damage when you do hit a hostile in the head. And it's been a good build for me. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please hit that like button. I'll be bringing some PvP with this video here shortly. So thanks a lot, guys.